You know, we throw the word culture around all the time. But what if I told you the true meaning isn't in the food or the music or even the traditions? Today, we're diving into sociologist Zygmunt Bauman's fascinating idea that culture is actually something we can't even see.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When you picture a culture, what pops into your head? Probably specific foods, music, or clothing, right? Well, Bauman argued that all that stuff is just the surface. The real meaning is hiding in the invisible web that connects it all.
So to really get this idea, you've got to understand the guy who came up with it. Bauman's incredible life journey is basically the key that unlocks his entire way of thinking.
See, Zygmunt Bauman wasn't some academic just sitting in an ivory tower. He was right there on the front lines of modern history, and the constant, massive change he witnessed became the foundation for his most powerful ideas.
I mean, just look at this. His life was a journey through radically different worlds. From fighting in a war, to being forced out of his home country, to starting all over again somewhere new. He saw firsthand how our reality is totally shaped by the system we happen to be in. This feeling of constant adaptation, it became absolutely central to his work.
And yeah, Bauman wrote a ton of influential books. Many of them dealt with what he famously called liquid modernity, this idea that our world is in a state of constant flux. But for what we're talking about today, the real gem is his 1973 work, Culture is Praxis. That's where he really lays out his whole concept of culture.
Okay, so how did all of these life experiences lead to his big idea? This is where Bauman completely flips the script on how we think about culture.
So forget about thinking of culture as just a list of artifacts or holidays. For Bauman, culture is like the invisible operating system running our entire society. It's this shared web of meanings that allows us to make sense of the world and interact with each other in a predictable way.
And this quote just nails it. He's saying you can't just pluck one thing out of a culture and expect to get it. It's kind of like trying to understand a word by just looking at a single letter. It's impossible, right? The meaning isn't in the letter. It's in how it all works together.
All right, so what does this actually mean for us in our everyday lives? How does this idea really change our perspective on the world around us?
Okay, so here's the crucial point. A handshake, a flag, a certain style of dress, none of these things mean anything by themselves. Their power, their significance, their whole definition comes from the huge network of shared understandings that they're plugged into. Exactly. An internet meme is the perfect modern example. Think about it. Show a popular meme to someone from 50 years ago, or even someone from a different online community today, and it will be completely meaningless. It only works because of a whole system of shared jokes, events, and references. The meaning is in the network, not just the image itself.
And this brings us to the most important part, why any of this matters. See, Bauman wasn't just creating some abstract theory for academics. He was giving us a practical tool to better understand our complex, interconnected world.
So he leaves us with a pretty clear method. The next time you come across a tradition, a symbol, or a behavior that just seems strange, don't just focus on that one thing. Ask yourself, what larger system does this fit into? What other ideas and practices is it connected to? That's where you're going to find the real story.
And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. Think about a daily ritual you have, a local saying you use, or a holiday you celebrate. How much of its meaning is completely invisible to an outsider? Bauman's great lesson is that to understand others, and even ourselves, we have to learn to see that whole system. So, what's the invisible web that you're a part of?